Viva, viva!
Cuba socialista!
Viva, viva!
Cuba socialista!
When we look to Cuba, which has no homelessness, world-renowned healthcare system with 67.5 doctors per 1,000, and is confronting the environment crisis based on with its 100-year life plan, we see the power of socialism and what can be achieved when there is political will.
We're against the blockade in Cuba because Cuba is a constant progressive force in a capitalist world, and they are constantly under pressure from the US government, an imperialist force which has crushed all that Cuba could potentially do. But even with this crushing force, Cuba is already, got the best healthcare in the world. It's the most sustainable country in the world, and they're continuing to be a progressive force in their family code and in the sending of doctors throughout the world during the COVID pandemic.
So in a few short days there's going to be a vote at the United Nations for 30 consecutive votes. The whole world over the past 3 decades has voted with Cuba to condemn the United States blockade, which has been imposed on Cuba for more than 60 years, has deprived them of over $140 billion of accumulated damages to their economy caused by economic sanctions and political attacks from the United States as well. This is a signal that the vast majority of humanity stands with Cuba, and we stand with Cuba as well, because Cuba shows that socialism is possible and another world is possible. It's an urgent struggle that we need to fight for socialism in Britain as well, and Cuba shows what can be achieved if we do.
I am standing here speaking out against the blockade on Cuba and against the inhumane sanctions by the US because of what Cuba has shown us to be a positive example for what is possible under a socialist system. In Cuba, women make up more than half of the National Assembly. Socialism has shown us what is possible, what can be achieved for women when we get rid of the oppressive capitalist system. Cuba cannot survive under these sanctions. We must fight against the blockade on Cuba.
The US blockade imposed on Cuba restricts Cuba's ability to maintain a robust energy system and infrastructure which would withstand events like Hurricane Ian. The blockade vindictively restricts Cuba's ability to receive donations of money and material aid. US aid offered to send a paltry of $2 million in Hurricane Ian recovery efforts. That's the equivalent cost of US sanctions on the Cuban economy every 13 seconds. And we know why the US attacks Cuba. It's the very same reason that a small, historically underdeveloped Caribbean island has been able to withstand US imperialist aggression for over 60 years. Socialism.
Okay, can you tell us about the 1 Cent for Cuba campaign?
Yeah, so we're participating in an international campaign with countries outside of the US who are saying enough of the illegal US blockade of Cuba, enough of unilateral US sanctions being imposed extraterritorially in our countries. We are launching a campaign against the British banks, against the European banks, against Canadian banks, against Australian banks who are enforcing the US blockade illegally. Get involved, join 1 Cent for Cuba, tell the banks, unblock Cuba.
Tell the banks, unblock Cuba!